So I hit a bit of a snag in my devotional reading a couple of days ago. There's this strange sequence of teaching that Luke gives. Jesus tells his disciples, hey, if somebody sins against you even 7 times in a day, in other words, it keeps on going and going and going, and 7 times come back and says, hey, I repent, then you must forgive them. The disciples, realizing how tough that is, say, well, Lord, then you need to increase our faith. And Jesus goes into this strange sequence. The first thing he says is that famous part about, hey, if you've got the faith of a mustard seed, you can say to this huge tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea. And then he goes on and talks about a parable of a servant that just does what his master asks him, should not expect thanksgiving. And then the next thing that Luke threads in there is the story of Jesus healing 10 lepers and only one coming back to say thanks. I was having a hard time putting that all together in my mind, what the main point is. So I've been doing some reading on it and thinking about it a little bit. And the first thing was this whole idea of the faith of a mustard seed. And it's almost like Jesus is rebuking them, saying, man, you need to, if you even have a tiny bit of faith, then you're going to be able to do this forgiveness. And then when we have trouble forgiving, then we question how much faith we have. But I think really it has to do with the focus of our faith and the focus of that question rather than the content. It's not the quantity of our faith that's important, it's the quality. And is our faith truly in the God that can transform our hearts and make us a forgiving people? Tom Wright, of course, helped me out on this, and he said, it's not great faith we need, it's faith in a great God. Getting ready to videotape this little devotional, and Sarah said, well, you mean that if we have just a tiny bit of faith in a great God, we should be able to do these miraculous things like plant trees in an ocean? And the thought that came to me was, for me, which would be the greatest miracle? That I could have the faith to plant a tree in the middle of an ocean, or that I could truly forgive somebody who just continually doesn't care about my feelings, doesn't care about my needs, and just sort of glibly says, oh, sorry, I repent. Can I really forgive them 70 times a day? Maybe you could ask yourself that question too. God bless.